the last day for college applications, and suddenly changed her choice to the same university as the school heartthrob. Her friends teased her. "What about your long-time crush? Weren't you guys planning on going to our city together for 6 years?" And seemed to just remember that. She paused and then replied nonchalantly, "Dave? No worries. He knows my account password. He'll notice I changed my plans and will just follow suit. He's attached to me after all." I stayed silent for a long time and quietly left, pretending I didn't know anything. That day, I didn't bother checking the system again, nor did I change my application to follow hers. What she didn't know is that while she could chase after the heartthrob, I also have my dreams to chase. Even the dream I've worked so hard for many days and nights has never just been about her. Anne's words left me frozen in place, almost forgetting to breathe. The promise to work towards our university was made back when we started middle school. When we filled out our applications, our families sat together, discussing seriously before making the decision. But now, she suddenly changed hers without a word. In the restaurant's private room, a friend curiously asked, "How do you know Dave will check your application again? What if he doesn't notice?" And laughed dismissively, saying, "Much more than just notice. I know him. He's the type to check 800 times a day, paranoid about filling something wrong and ending up in a different program than me." She sighed with some exasperation. "You wouldn't get it. If you had a shadow following you since childhood, you'd understand." The room filled with laughter. The friend, still unconvinced, asked, "So even if he notices, are you sure Dave will change his application last minute just because of you?" And looked up from her game and smirked. "Please. Dave has never been apart from me for more than a week since birth. Who else would he go to college with if not me?" Another friend couldn't help but interject. "And no offense, but the way you handled this wasn't exactly honest. Couldn't you just tell him you changed your application?" And paused her fingers on the screen, looking a bit agitated. "I truly forgot. It's pretty annoying, honestly. I don't feel like explaining everything to him. If he found out I changed it for Gary, he'd throw a fit. And it's not like it was a whim. Gary mentioned he was scared to go to the South alone and felt safer with a familiar friend." The friends were momentarily stunned but nodded knowingly. True, with Gary being so handsome and his family situation, it's understandable to want to protect him. Unlike your shadow Dave, always dusty and just about books. Can't compare to the heartthrob. Ha. Sacrificing such a passion for aviation takes someone like and caring for a handsome guy. The laughter and game sounds continued. Outside, I felt like I was in an ice cave. I clenched my fists tightly. I really wanted to burst through the door and confront but my feet felt heavy, unable to take that step. I stood silently for a long time. In the end, I couldn't muster the courage and quietly turned away. I left the restaurant in a daze. Only when I locked myself in my room did the long-held tears fall freely. Anne's words echoed in my mind, word for word. I still couldn't understand how she could suddenly change her long-time dream of aviation. We had worked so hard for so many years, and I had only just managed to qualify for our dream program. Just moments before entering that restaurant, I was naively happy at the thought of achieving our dreams together. But I never expected the future I fought so hard for, the dream we had together, she could so easily give up for someone else. And even if she was going to change it, why couldn't she at least tell me? Was she so afraid of me clinging on? If she feared that much, then the tender kiss under the starry sky on her 18th birthday, with hearts racing, what did it mean? Did I mistake her tipsy moment for something meaningful? Something inside me snapped suddenly. In truth, I didn't always have to follow her. Since kindergarten, Anne and I attended the same elementary, middle, and high school. Everyone, even Anne herself, assumed I would always be with her, never apart. But no one knew, aside from relying on her, I have my own reasons to attend that school. It's unrelated to Anne. Even if she doesn't go, I would go by myself. I'd unconsciously open my computer, and I turned it off, not wanting to see the application system again. Nor did I have any desire to change my plans for her. She might be going after the heartthrob, but I have my skies to soar into. With both of us headed in different directions, there's no need to dwell on the past. After realizing this, I suddenly felt at peace. No big deal. Mom was right, everyone has to learn to grow up. As for that kiss, I'll just treat it like a dog bite from a street dog. After splashing my face with cold water to calm down, and called me on video, my mind hesitated, but my finger reflexively answered. Dave, why aren't you here yet? Everyone's here and waiting to eat, you're getting slower and slower. After exams, Anne's close friends decided to take turns hosting meals to relax. Today was Anne's turn, but I didn't want to go anymore. I'm not coming, you guys eat. Before I could finish, I heard a smooth male voice from beside Anne. And is Dave unhappy about me joining your friend's gathering? Before Anne could reply, a few female voices urgently chimed in. Of course not, we're thrilled the school heartthrob graced us. Dave's just a bit possessive. Gets upset when guys get too close to Anne. Gary's side profile briefly appeared in Anne's frame, very close to her. Considerately, he whispered to Anne, and maybe I should leave first so you don't feel awkward. Anne's face immediately changed, turning to hold him. Gary, you don't need to go. Dave's just acting weird today. If he doesn't want to come, let him. Let's start eating. And coldly said and disconnected the call before I could respond. I felt a surge of anger, blocking and in return. Growing up, this was the first time I argued and blocked her. All because of Gary. Since he transferred over in our junior year, I lost count of how many times and went out of her way because of him. Maybe girls like guys who are clean-cut and handsome. During those days when I was neck-deep in books, looking like a mess, Gary never seemed to settle for less. He was always in a crisp white shirt, looking fresh and neat. We argued 100 times because of him, and we've had countless silent battles. I even thought she liked Gary, so I decided to give up on and distance myself. Every time, though, Anne would come to me, swearing up and down. What are you thinking? Gary's just a classmate. There's nothing going on. Don't overthink it, she'd say. She just wanted to help Gary out because he had a rough situation. Everyone praised his looks to his face but judged him behind his back. I believed, and when she said so. Gary did have a complicated situation, so I didn't fuss much when they got closer. Besides, Anne's never lied to me since we were kids. If she says she doesn't like him, I trust her. But later, I found out there were more and more things between them that I didn't know. Even now, she changed her college preference all of a sudden because of Gary. Made me feel ridiculous. Just when my mind was racing, my phone snapped me back. Dave, you've got guts blocking me? Just you wait till I get home, and texted me using a friend's number. I went ahead and blocked her friend's number too. Glanced at the time, grabbed my stuff, and headed to school. It was the last day to submit college choices. Our teacher wanted one final meeting to pass on some instructions. The way there was a bit clogged up, so by the time I got there, Anne and Gary were already in class. The seat next to Anne was mine, but Gary was sitting there comfortably, not even standing up as I approached, his eyes full of smugness, and acted like she didn't notice, looking away coldly. It was like she was waiting for me to make the first move to fix things. I wouldn't. It was fine, really. I didn't want to sit beside Anne anymore anyway. I scanned the room and sat next to my buddy Harry on the other side. Far from them. It's the last half day for college submissions. Please double-check your forms carefully, our teacher advised. If you're still not sure, feel free to consult with us teachers. After a few brief words, she let us loose for some activities. I was all ears to Harry spilling some juicy gossip when suddenly I got tapped on the head. Dave, come here for a sec, and called out. I turned and made eye contact with her. Looked away, not wanting to deal. Turned back to Harry. And wasn't having it though, and got me to face her. Dave, what's with you now? I'm tired of this constant arguing. We're about to go to college. Can't we stop being childish? She complained. Forced to face her, I snapped back. It is childish and boring. So stop trying to make up with me. Our stares clashed for a moment, then and gave up. Fine, I'm too lazy to argue with a petty guy. Go ahead and act. Just don't cry later behind closed doors. I kept a straight face, refusing to look at her. Thought she left after a while, and turned my head again. Dead serious. It's the last day for submissions. Double check yours. Make sure it's right. She intended to say more, but Gary came up with a laptop. And, "Can you help me with this issue?" he asked, and nodded, and on her way out, she gave my cheek a familiar pinch. "You forgot your computer? Remember to use the school's computers later and double-check your submission," she said. "Don't mess up something as important as this." I couldn't help but think, and expected me to check and follow her lead to X City. But she was playing it cool, never directly stating it. She knew explaining everything would be a hassle. "But it's fine because I've decided not to go back." I looked at and busy helping Gary, then tugged Harry to leave the class. We were about to grab a cab home when Harry noticed my sour mood and dragged me to a buddy's birthday party instead. Couldn't refuse, so I went. After eating, they pulled me to a new bar. Once we got there, I saw and was at a party there too. Lots of mutual friends, so we crowded into one big room. Went and saw me. She seemed a bit awkward but didn't say anything to me. I acted as if she wasn't there. On my way to the bathroom, I overheard and talking with a friend. "You should just tell him directly," her friend advised. "Our city is pretty far for a guy to go alone," and laughed it off. "No worries," I told him multiple times. "He's probably pissed because I didn't talk it over before." Before I knew it, they turned the corner and saw me. Her friend left after and signaled. She then blocked the hallway, facing me. "Dave, we need to talk," she said. I rolled my eyes and tried to walk off. Her hand grabbed me back, and the faint smell of alcohol hit. Turned my head slightly to avoid it. Facing off again, she cracked a smile, unprovoked. "Still mad? I wanted to text you earlier to come to the bar, but you blocked me. Forgot about it after you got me mad in class. Alright, chill. I don't know what your deal is all the time. By the way, did you check your submissions?" Kept my face blank, unwilling to engage. She wanted to add something, but Gary's voice interrupted us. "And Gary wants you for a drink." "Sorry, didn't mean to barge in," he added. At times, I wonder if Gary has a tracker on her or something. Every time and I speak, he shows up like clockwork. But I really didn't want to chat with them. When and turned her head, I slipped out from under her arm. When I passed by Gary, he grabbed me tightly. "I'm really sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to disturb you guys. You've been sulking all day, and Anne's not in a good mood either." I didn't want to deal with him. His grip hurt my hand, and I had to yank it free with effort. Gary staggered back and his eyes instantly reddened. "And is Dave still upset that I went to your little circle's gathering? Would it help if I apologized to him? You guys shouldn't fight because of me," Gary said as he stepped in front of me, about to bow, and got mad, immediately turning to block Gary. "He just has a spoiled brat personality. Why should you apologize to him? Dave, why did you push Gary? You should apologize to him. We'll all be at the same college, we should help each other out. If you love to babysit so much, you guys can take care of each other." I tossed out these words and stormed off, ignoring Anne's displeased warning behind me. "Dave, you're going too far." After a while, and Gary came back. Anne's face was stiff, but Gary seemed fine, looking a bit sheepish. Everyone, except for Harry, teased them for being gone so long, making it seem like more was happening. Even Anne's childhood friend joined in, not caring if I'd feel awkward. Well, to them, I'm just Anne's sidekick. Gary drew the dare to sing a love song to someone present, and he locked eyes with and first for help, and shot me a quick glance, a bit like a challenge, and agreed. In the past, I would have jumped up, angry and blocking it. But now I didn't react. Gary's a regular at school performances and has a great voice. His singing is moving. I downed a can of beer, quietly watching Gary, while he sang passionately to Anne with a soft guitar accompaniment, and had a faint smile at the corner of her mouth. At first, her eyes kept darting to me, as if waiting for me to interrupt at any moment. But as Gary's emotions heightened in the song, she forgot everything around her. Sitting straight, her gaze fixed solely on Gary. You could practically see sparks between them. As the song ended, Gary accidentally slipped, falling toward Anne. He was dressed lightly that night and fell chest first into Anne's arms, the two of them holding each other in a very awkward position. Everyone cheered, almost raising the roof. Gary's face turned beet red, as if he wanted to hide somewhere. and scolded everyone playfully for taking things too far, but pulled Gary behind her to shield him from all the eyes. That kind of easy closeness and familiarity used to be just between us. Even though I'd decided to let go, seeing it still hurt uncontrollably. I couldn't watch anymore. Finishing the last sip of my drink, I left the room silently. Harry couldn't stand it either and followed me out, keeping me company as we cursed on the roadside for a while. He'd held it in all night, wanting to snap several times, but I stopped him. Why ruin the mood? After all, soon we'd just be strangers. I didn't know how things ended inside, I just felt exhausted. It all didn't matter anymore. I got home just as the clock hit 11:55 p.m. Only 5 minutes left to submit my college applications. I felt weak all over, lying on my bed with my eyes closed. I couldn't help feeling disappointed. Over a decade together, you can't just let that go. In my sadness, my phone started ringing. A number I didn't recognize. I picked up and it was a drunk, and her voice carried a rare, sweet, coaxing tone. "Dave, don't be mad anymore. Remember to change your college application. X-City is great, facing the sea. I'll go surfing with you." Maybe it was the alcohol, but Anne's attitude was unusually gentle. In the past, even when she admitted fault, she'd often use a half-threatening tone. "Dave, stop being a brat. If you keep this up, forget about going to Disney with me." And then I'd obediently come down the steps and forgive her. Because when you truly like someone, you can't bear to let things fall apart. But this time, the more she stayed the same, the more it hurt. "Say something, Dave. Dave, is that okay? You always wanted to go to the beach for a vacation, right? I heard the new campus is right by the ocean, you'd love it. Actually, our city really is too far away, and it's so cold in winter. You're so scared of the cold you'd end up whining. If you insist on going, I can go with you to Snow World during winter break." And rambled on like she was trying to convince both of us, as if switching to a college in X-City was for my benefit. I listened quietly for a while, but couldn't help asking, "And, don't you have something to tell me?" My voice sounded choked, even to myself. I thought if she could be honest right now, we could maybe be ordinary friends in the future. If she chose not to address it directly, really, there was no need to stay in touch. There was a slight pause before she replied vaguely. "You already know, don't you? Why ask? You've been mad about it all day. Such a sulky little thing. Okay, they're all good schools. You're taking all the favorite courses you chose anyway. As long as we're together, it doesn't matter where we go." And kept talking, never addressing the real issue. I couldn't be bothered to listen anymore. One last chance. Gone. I hung up before she finished, powered off my phone. Glanced at the clock, the second hand had just passed midnight. No more room for regrets. Fine by me. We both picked our paths, I guess we each get what we wanted. I turned off the lights, lay flat, forcing myself to sleep. But with closed eyes, thoughts of and filled my mind. Happy, sad, funny, angry, every version of Anne. We grew up together, every memory included her. Never thought it would end like this. People get particularly fragile at night. Even if I told myself to be strong by day, tears unknowingly soaked my pillow. Somewhere in the haze, I eventually fell asleep. I woke up again, it was already noon the next day. Checked my phone, and there were a bunch of missed calls and messages from unknown numbers. All from Anne. I ignored them. Messages were buzzing like crazy. The small group Harry pulled me into was bustling with chats. I clicked in and saw someone posted a screenshot at around 1 a.m. The guys were all gossiping. The campus heartthrob made an announcement in the middle of the night. How many announcements have been made since the exams ended? This heartthrob's gotta be a rich kid, you could tell just by the watch it looks like it costs tens of thousands. Quite daring, it really shows how people are letting go post-exams. The screenshot was from Gary's social media. Out of habit, I enlarged the picture. On the pic was a girl's side profile lying on a white hotel bed, which was Anne's sleeping face. Even with just a quarter of it visible, I could recognize it immediately. Suddenly, a sharp pain hit my chest. Gary's caption was incredibly suggestive. "I walked 99 steps with all my courage towards you, and thankfully you finally stepped back to me for the last one. This moment, truly happy." Lots of people liked and commented. Gary's replies were just as suggestive. Anne's friends were all in the comment section. I felt my heart sink. So they are already at this stage. Last night, Anne was comforting me gently while being intertwined with someone else. What a tiring act. My mood hit rock bottom again. Yet I felt a tiny bit relieved. Thank goodness I didn't change my college plans for her, or else I'd be a complete fool for the next 4 years. I shut the screen, forcing myself not to look or think about Anne and Gary. While zoning out, the doorbell rang. I opened the door to find Anne standing there. The dark circles under her eyes were quite prominent. She was holding my favorite sweets. I stood at the door, not planning to let her in. She pushed her way in as if she owned the place, heading straight to the living room. She set the sweets on the dining table, habitually reached out to pat my head as she used to. I dodged it. Dave, what's with the temper lately? I sent you so many messages, and you didn't reply. Didn't pick up my calls either. Planning to cry and chase after us when we go on vacation? And carefully unpacked the little cake, cut it into pieces and handed it to me. Come on, don't be mad. I took a half-hour cab ride this morning just to get you these. Eat up, I know you've been craving them. Then let's plan where to go for the holidays. I didn't take the cake, and gave a bitter smile, still trying to feed me with a fork, but I subtly stepped back. All right, Mr. Big Shot, don't eat it if you don't want to. You've always wanted to go to S-City, right? But never had time. Perfect time for a spontaneous trip this summer. I asked Gary and some others we could hire 2 cars. It's more fun with more people. I shook my head. No thanks, you go ahead. I'm about to head out, so could you leave? And looked a bit stunned and then helpless. Why? You've been talking about it for years. Are you seriously not going just because you're mad? She set down the cake and reached for a hug. I evaded her, but she quickly snatched my phone. Stop it already, will you? I drank too much last night and didn't rest well. Got up early to make you happy, it's really tiring. I shot back, nobody asked you to make me happy. I don't need you to. And frowned. Then tell me why you don't want to go anymore? I stared at her, puzzled. If you genuinely wanted to plan it with me, you wouldn't finalize everything and then ask. Besides, me not going is for the best, right? You can have Gary keep you company. Why do you need me to witness your guy's happiness? And let out a deep breath, a sign her patience was wearing thin. Yes, Gary's going. He also loves S-City. But he's not the only guy. Besides you two, even Chubby's girlfriend is coming. Why do you keep fixating on him? Did he do anything to you? Given his situation, he hasn't traveled for years. Now that exams are over, why can't he spend his own money to join a trip? The city's big enough. Surely it has room for one more person. And seemed truly exhausted, and her words came without much thought. I was irritated, so I nodded repeatedly. Fine, fine, go with whoever you want. I'm not going. Anne's temper flared. Last chance, Dave. I've given you plenty of outs, don't push it. I've already bought your ticket. Meet at the airport tomorrow morning. Go if you want. She slammed my phone on the table and stormed out. I had no intention to stop her, just watched her leave and quickly shut the door behind her. Her face was as black as coal before the door closed, and she didn't forget to scold me. With that temper, how are you going to get along with your future college roommates? Her voice trailed off as the door closed. Back in the living room, I angrily tossed her cake into the trash. I don't need her lousy cake. I don't want to travel with her and Gary. Even her attempts to appease, balancing between childhood friend and a new flame, seem ridiculous now. I sat on the couch, sulking. To keep her from affecting my mood further, I decided to go on my trip. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. I figure breaking one should also take 21 days. Mom wouldn't let me travel abroad alone, so she agreed I could stay with my uncle for a while. Since I'd already finished my college plans and had nothing to do, I packed lightly and booked a flight to N-City that night. By 10 p.m., I was in my uncle's villa, already enjoying some seafood barbecue. The sea breeze mixed with the scent of sizzling, oily barbecue cheered me up quite a bit. I couldn't help but post about it. Harry and the guys were envious, saying they'd join me soon. The next day, my cousin woke me up with a call for me, quite early. The sun outside was shining brightly. Hey, it's for you. A call from your lovely childhood friend. My cousin handed the phone over. Half asleep, I answered. Yup, it was Anne. Dave, everyone's gathered except you. There's only half an hour until boarding. Why aren't you here yet? Why'd you block me again? Your mom said you're with your cousin. Did he come to town, H? And seems pretty anxious. I took a moment before calmly replying to her. Nope, I'm at his place in town N. And sounded a bit impatient. Stop joking around. You were home yesterday. Hurry up and you can still make it. I told you I'm not going with you guys. Don't waste your time waiting. Silence from her end. Then a male voice quietly suggested to her, Dave might really be in town N. This is something he posted last night. My friend showed it to me. Oh right. Thanks to Gary for the reminder. I almost forgot and can't see my social media anymore. Do you believe me now? I asked, and seemed too angry to speak. Just before I hung up, I heard her grit her teeth. Dave, you'll regret it. I already do, but only regret not coming here for vacation sooner. The exhausting senior year feels like it's been healed by the sun, beaches, coconuts, and seafood barbecue over the past few days. Once my cousin found out about and he got furious and keeps trying to set me up with attractive girls, always finding new ways to make me have fun. The rainy season in town N means there aren't too many people, and it's not too hot. Beachcombing, taking photos, diving, fishing, water parks, bungee jumping. Each day is so packed that I fall asleep as soon as I hit the bed. I barely have time to think about unpleasant people. And the others seem to be having fun too. The group chat's full of people sharing their trip photos. I used to purposely avoid looking at them. One day, when my cousin finally gave in to exhaustion and let me rest, I accidentally clicked on them while browsing my phone. Anne's group visited a lot of places, and each landmark was captured in their vibrant, youthful group photos. In countless photos, I saw Anne and Gary together, always in the center of Gary's 9-photo grid hard to miss. They took solo pictures in front of endless mountains and grassy seas, crystal clear blue lakes, and majestic snowy mountains. All spots I'd long wanted to visit. I couldn't help but feel a pang of bitterness. The world Anne and I had planned to see together ended up with someone else. I guess no one is irreplaceable after all. When my cousin woke up and saw me brooding, he started lecturing me for being hopeless. It's just a few photos, he said. Anyone can post them. You know your brother never lost when it comes to taking and editing pictures. I've told you before, you just don't put the effort into your appearance. Get yourself together and you'll have all the college girls swooning. You won't even remember your old crush. From then on, my cousin dragged me around to take a ton of cool photos and made sure I posted them like crazy. No more oversized school uniforms. Now I'm wearing stylish beach shorts and shirts he got me. He even forced me to swap my thick glasses for contacts and hit the gym with him. Changing up my hairstyle and learning fashion. A must for college-bound students, he said. And boy, did he transform me. Even I couldn't recognize the new me in the mirror, looking like one of those stylish guys I used to admire. Mom was so shocked by the photos that tears welled up. She couldn't stop exclaiming about how her son had truly grown up. My social media got lively too. Classmates flooded the comments with likes and amazed reactions at how much I'd changed, even posting the pictures in our class group chat. Their praise left me a little shy. I replied in the group saying it was all just editing. My comment came out at the same time as one from Gary's buddy, who said, Dave's editing skills are top-notch. Teach us sometime. The chat went silent for a moment. Harry couldn't stand it and uploaded the original live photos I'd shared with him to the chat. My classmates were even more impressed. Even our teacher joined in, complimenting me. Didn't realize our class monitor was hiding his good looks under a uniform, total natural handsome guy vibes. Dave's already good looking without editing just needed a little polish to shine in pictures. All this studying obscured his good looks otherwise. We'd have 2 heartthrobs in class. After that jab, the jabs stopped. One of Gary's friends made a snarky comment about how live photos could be edited too. But I didn't have to respond, plenty of classmates came to my defense. And then Gary stayed quiet in the group chat, and Gary stopped posting about their trip from that day on. Not long after, Mom told me we'd received the acceptance letter from our university for the program I dreamed about. I was so happy I cried for a long time. All that effort paid off finally. But then Mom told me my grandma was sick, and I needed to visit her immediately. Arriving at Town H Airport the next day, who would I run into but Anne and her group, returning from their trip. I'd heard their plan was for a month-long trip, but it ended 2 weeks early, and looked shocked when we locked eyes. Even Gary froze for a moment. After a stiff pause, as I turned to leave, and snapped out of it and hurried over to greet me. "Dave, are you flying back today too?" Anne's expression showed a touch of admiration she couldn't hide. "I could hardly recognize you at first. Didn't expect you to look like this, not gonna lie, you're pretty handsome." "Thanks." This was our first time apart for more than a week, but as I snapped back to reality, I realized it didn't matter. I didn't want to chit-chat. I grabbed my suitcase and made for the exit. Mom was waiting at arrivals. I rushed to her. Just as she took my suitcase, Anne's voice came from behind. She'd followed me. "Dave, why are you leaving in such a hurry?" "Hi, Auntie, by the way. Dave, you got your acceptance letter too, right? My parents insisted I come back for the celebration banquet." "Oh, remember we said we'd have both families celebrate together?" My parents already booked the hotel. And glanced at me with an unhappy face, and then covered for me. "And Dave isn't planning to have a graduation party. My company is busy, and his grandma is sick, so we don't have time. We'll just have a family dinner to celebrate later. Please thank your parents for their kind offer." Mom explained it gracefully. She only knew that Anne and I had a falling out, and even changed her college preference. I didn't explain the details, but Mom was a bit upset about it, thinking Anne was being reckless about her future, and awkwardly touched her nose and asked about Grandma. Mom gave a vague answer and politely declined Anne's offer to ride home together, then left with me. I visited Grandma at the hospital. The doctor said she needed surgery at a better hospital in J City. Everything was arranged. I volunteered to go with my aunt to take care of Grandma. Since my dad passed away 8 years ago, my mom has been managing the company alone and she's exhausted. I can't help much usually, so I thought I'd lend a hand while I had the chance. That day I flew with Grandma to J City. Naturally, I missed Anne's graduation party. Although, even if I were in town, I wouldn't have gone. The night of Anne's party, she seemed upset and kept borrowing others' phones to call me. First to ask where I was, then to realize I wasn't just late, I wasn't coming at all. She was really mad. Even her mom noticed something was off and called to ask, "Dave, are you and Anne fighting? Why didn't you come over after the beach trip? Are you mad at me too? I'll talk to that girl when you come back. Don't be upset. You both have to head to X City for college soon. I got you a whole gaming setup and dorm essentials." "No, I'm not mad. Thanks, Auntie, but no need. My mom already got me everything. I'm not in H City right now. My family has stuff going on." As I was explaining, Anne grabbed the phone. "Dave, that's harsh. You're missing such an important day in my life and giving such lousy excuses. What do you mean by this? We've known each other 18 years, not just months or days. Do you remember? I had just left Grandma's room, exhausted, heading back to the hotel. And congrats on everything. I can't come, there's stuff at home." Before I could finish, she started yelling. "How long are you going to play hard to get? It's been days. I've apologized so many times. You're ruining my mood, even on vacation. Are you planning to stay mad right through to college orientation? Who's going to help you carry all those bags if I'm not there? However you want," I said dismissively. But I remembered there were plenty of helpful seniors in our university newcomers group who offered to help on orientation day. Without Anne, the world wouldn't collapse, and was stunned as I hung up. Then I got a text from an unfamiliar number. "Dave, if you're so tough, don't come looking for me in college. You'll be sorry when someone else starts dating me." I shook my head, deleted the message, and blocked the number. I focused on caring for Grandma. School posted a merit list, everyone's admissions info was on there. I didn't go back to school. Harry told me and didn't either. Her dad took her to their company out of town for some experience. After her party, she even left the class group chat. I think she really wanted to make a clean break from me this time, and that was fine. Grandma's treatment and recovery in J City went well. By the time I was ready for college, she was safely back in H City. I only stayed home for a night. My mom had already packed my bags. The next day, she personally took me to school. Didn't see an at all. Turns out college wasn't that scary. As soon as I got out of the car, a group of senior sisters eagerly helped me with my bags to the dorm. The guys from our city were super welcoming. In our major, all the boys in the year stayed in our dorm. Within 3 days, they took me everywhere to eat and explore. I thought I wouldn't like our city's food, but it was delicious. They even took me to the public bathhouse the first night. We got so comfortable around each other quickly. While I was adjusting to college life and just starting military training, I got a third love letter. Then and called again. Dave, I went to your house yesterday, wanted us to go to school together. Your mom said you already went. But I'm at school today and can't find your class. What's going on? Which campus are you on? I didn't even know where to begin. She still hadn't realized I never changed my application to X university with her. It's not about the campus. I'm not even at the same school as you. Couldn't help but say, no way. You're kidding, right? And laughed in disbelief. Don't be mad. All right, I'll apologize. Let's make up, okay? Head to the boys' dorm entrance. I brought you a bunch of food, your favorite snacks. Don't blame me for hogging them. I had to stop and explain it all. And I think you misunderstood. My application never changed. It's always been for our university, aeronautics. You know, I always wanted that. Why would I go to X City? Right then, my dorm mates called me for lunch. Hey buddy, let's grab lunch? Their strong, our city accent must have unsettled, and when she spoke again, it was like a broken record. Why you're joking, right Dave? No, impossible. You knew I changed my preference. No way you didn't change it too, going all alone to our city that far away? I sighed. Seriously, not joking. And you never asked me before changing your application. How could you assume I'd go with you? Moreover, you changed it for someone else. Following you would have been too foolish. And rushed to explain. But that night, the night I asked you, you said you knew. How come you didn't change it with me? That's impossible. Is it because of Gary? I really just felt a little soft-hearted. He was crying, saying he was scared of being bullied if he went somewhere away by himself. You know, even though his hometown is in Fujian, he hasn't gone back since something happened with his dad. Plus, he got in as an art student, so he didn't have much choice. He's not like you with good grades. That was already the best college he could get into by luck. And was talking a mile a minute, but I didn't really react. All I could hear was Gary, Gary, Gary. Even now, she's only thinking from his perspective, never considering my feelings. Gary's dad was a corrupt official, and he's been in prison for a long time, even though he'd divorced his mom before that. But people looked down on his mom and him back in their hometown, so she moved them to H City to start over. He was still a kid back then. It wasn't his fault what happened with the adults. But I didn't cause his problems, so why should I even care? And since you care so much about him, now you've got what you wanted. We're just friends, not stuck together for life. Let's not bother each other anymore. I hung up the phone, took a deep breath, and before I could even think about being sad, my roommate was dragging me off to the cafeteria. I thought and would back off. After all, we were miles apart with a ton of baggage between us. But the next night, there she was right in front of me. At that moment, I wasn't alone. There was a girl from my class standing awkwardly next to me. She was pretty and kind of tall. Her name came up on the confession pages a lot. I was just about to ask her if she needed something. She'd been sneaking glances at me while I was eating. Dave, I'm Vivian, the one who sent you those 3 letters without a reply. I just think you're really cute and I seriously want to date you. Like seriously, could you give me a chance? Before I could respond, she slipped another letter into my hands, blushing, and took off. I hadn't even processed it when I turned around and saw and standing there, looking kind of worn out from travel, but in a well-fitted white dress and a light trench coat. She still looked put together, the same vibrant beauty of our high school. With her dressy outfit and laptop, she seemed to have rushed over from some formal place. Even though I was over it, I couldn't help but feel a little dazed. I have something I want to discuss. Can we find somewhere to sit? And seemed cautious, like she was afraid I'd turn her down. "I've got a class meeting tonight. We can talk here," I said calmly. And had come this far, no way she'd leave without saying what she needed to. But I didn't expect her to start with, "You two barely know each other and she's confessing? Just goes to show how shallow she is. You should stay away from women like her." I retorted with a smirk. "Did you come all this way just to tell me that? Why is it your business? Just because I have new friends doesn't mean I have to stay hung up on old ones." And hesitated and then spoke more normally. "Dave, I have no idea why you didn't change your plans with me. I'm really sorry. Maybe I was too sure of myself. I thought you'd go anywhere with me, no matter what." I cut her off. "Stop. Don't put your choices on me. You're not gonna guilt trip me. I wasn't the one who changed plans first, you did. But you always followed me to whichever school. You even have my application system password. Why didn't you change it this time?" And seemed upset, clutching my arm and demanding an answer. "So why didn't you just tell me you had somewhere else in mind? Did you think I'd stop you? Why all this guessing game nonsense? Is messing with someone's future that fun?" I challenged her with my gaze. "No, that's not how it is. I might have been overconfident about our relationship. You forgot, didn't you? Back then, when I kissed you, you didn't push me away. I planned to confess to you officially once we got into college, and I even planned for us to get married back in H City after we graduated. There was never anyone else. Gary was just someone I used to make you jealous." And got a bit emotional as she spoke, her eyes turning a little red at the corners. I shook off her hand. "But you never considered my feelings. That's when I realized you didn't understand me at all. You didn't even know why I chose this school. You probably thought it was just because you wanted to apply there, so I followed. It was never just about you. You should know my dad died in an accident during a flight experiment. I often asked you what the universe had that was so irresistible, worthy of him risking everything for those experiments. I actually wanted to figure that out for myself. The more I missed my dad, the more I wanted to find the answer. Did you really think I would abandon his dream just for you?" And was stunned. "But you've never mentioned any of this." I chuckled. Maybe she didn't expect that my casual questions were fueled not only by missing my dad, but also by a secret desire to continue his work. So all those efforts and sweat were never just for her. In the end, I told her everything. It was time to put those memories behind me. I'm still grateful for having you by my side after my dad passed. Even when my mom was busy with work, your parents treated me like family. And the moment you decided to break our promise, it was over for us. It rained suddenly after I left that day. My roommate later told me there was a beautiful girl standing outside in the rain for a long time. I didn't react. I didn't feel like convincing her otherwise, and stood outside our dorm all night and only left at dawn. I didn't expect her to go home to H City instead of returning to X City. A few days later, I got a call from her mom. "Dave, can you please talk to Ann? She's been sick since coming back from our city. She's got a 39-degree fever and refuses to see a doctor or take any medicine. She's finally better today but still doesn't want to return to school. She wants to drop out and apply to our university to be with you." I had a headache, but I answered without hesitation. "No way, ma'am. I won't wait for her. I've planned out my college life and won't waste any time. Please tell her to stop doing foolish things, or I'll lose even more respect for her." I heard something drop on the other end of the line. Later, I heard and went back to school after her grandparents intervened. But I heard she wants to attend graduate school in our city to be near me. During breaks, she'd fly from X City to our city to see me. Even when I ignored her, she'd just watch from a distance, leaving behind things I used to like. But by winter break, I was seeing someone else. That would be Vivian, the girl who's super cool around others but a total sweetheart with me. She sent me love notes 99 times. I couldn't say no anymore. Plus, her smile is adorably charming. She'd slip in selfies with those notes, making my roommates urge me to take the chance. After and saw me helping Vivian down the icy slide, she vanished from my life for good. After that, I rarely heard about, and my family even moved from our old place. Years later, I went on to pursue my PhD, and Vivian stayed by my side. We both ended up working in a top-notch aerospace lab. When I think back on those youthful memories, They really feel insignificant now. There's so much more ahead, with an endless universe waiting for me to explore.